Hello, fifth grade. Welcome back to Bible. And we are continuing to talk about Jeremiah the prophet. So I want you to think about something. I want you to think if you would rather tell people good news or bad news. How would you react if you were told by a friend that you had to change something you were doing because it was wrong? You might actually change your actions. You might not like that person anymore. And you might make an excuse. Jeremiah was told to proclaim to the entire nation of Judah God's warning, a certain judgment if they did not change their evil ways. As a result, many people hated Jeremiah and even threatened his life. But he continued to listen to God and remain faithful. God promised to be with him. Okay, so Jeremiah begins his service as a prophet during the reign of Josiah. Now remember, at this point, Jeremiah is likely somewhere between the ages of 10, possibly up to 18. But we know for sure that he was somewhere in that range. Now, he begins his service as a prophet under Josiah. Josiah was the last good king of Judah, the southern kingdom. And Jeremiah continues his ministry as a prophet for 40 years under the reign of 4 other Judean kings. King Josiah instituted reforms. However, when he died, the people immediately went back to idol worship. Jeremiah's message from God was clear. He predicted judgment, the righteous consequence of their actions. If Judah did not return to God, then there would be destruction coming in from the north, as the prophecy foretold. Just like a lot of people who don't want to hear correction and reproof. The nation of Judah became angry and rejected Jeremiah and his warning. And went so far as to threaten his life. Jeremiah had to flee because his life was being threatened. In Jeremiah 18 through 23, we see how Jeremiah was persecuted for doing God's work. However, when the persecution came from his own friends, his own family. Now remember, Jeremiah's the kid of a priest. A long line. His dad, his grandpa, his uncles, they're all priests. His own family, who were supposed to be godly men, were persecuting him. His family, his friends, his king, and even other false prophets of the other idols. Jeremiah chose to remain faithful and stayed committed to God's call. Although few people listened to him, Jeremiah constantly delivered God's truth with much weeping and tenderness of heart towards the people of Judah. Today, Jeremiah is actually even referred to as the weeping prophet. He has a whole book called Lamentations that talks about all his remorse and his weeping and his tenderness of heart towards the people of God. Students, even though God calls his people to do something special for him, there's going to be tests of faith. There's going to be trials, and proof often occurs when we're truly called by God. There will be some sort of proof that it is from God. Sometimes our tests occur The test of our faithfulness occur during trials. Something we're going through. You know, a trial is like a roadblock on a highway. People are supposed to slow down and slowly make their way around it. Or like a speed bump. We have to slow down for those speed bumps and make our way over them slowly. See, Jeremiah faced roadblocks, those tests of his faithfulness, when he was persecuted by his friends, his family. He could have chose to turn away, but he didn't. He remained faithful to God, even in the face of persecution. And because the people of Judah ignored Jeremiah's prophecy, ignored his teaching and his reproof, the people of Judah entered into 70 years in captivity in Babylon. All right, so for today's homework, you're going to work on page 110, and look through about roadblocks and how trials and tests of our faith are like roadblocks in our lives. All right, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.